Hey traders, Mike Katz here with 7 Points Capital. Good to be back in town. Flew in yesterday after a great weekend in Vegas. Traders for a Cause, congrats for putting a great event together for a great cause, that is. And it was just a lot of fun. It was great to meet a lot of the traders that we're in touch with online and on the internet. And it was great to meet some new traders that some that are great, some that are up and coming. Just really great environment to get to know each other, and really excited for that, and already looking forward to next year. So job well done to the organizers. And I gotta say, I was taken back by how many of you said that you really enjoy and watch the trader takeaways on a nightly basis. I was a little bit surprised, so thank you for that. And that's just more motivation for us to keep it going. And good luck trading all. But today we had a pretty nice day. For me, it started out with Netflix. Where's Netflix? There it is. Earnings last night. That was around the time I was already flying back to New York. So I didn't do anything last night, but this morning I had Netflix in mind here where, you know, basically this whole move that took place yesterday was in 120 seconds. 2 minutes it took for it to push up and then get stuffed by 400. It went to 405 for a second, but 400 rejected the move. And then it faded back for most of the after hours yesterday. So this morning when I started looking at it, I got in on this bounce here. Not there. I don't think I was up at 4 a.m. Let's see. Right around here. So right here, 384, 385 is where I got in. Well, let's see what my executions are. Yep, so what was this? 384 is where I got in. And I was going to risk off of 391. Reason being, right here, this level where we couldn't get above yesterday. I figured that could be some good resistance. And that's what I was trading against. So it started working pretty quickly and then just drifted lower, came in, and I was anticipating an add below this level here, below 378, below this low of pre-market. But it just looked really good, started to look like weakness. I added a little bit more and didn't get a chance to add more on this 378 break on the open. Never came back it dropped really fast, never came back to give me another retest of 378. Otherwise, I really would have put on a whole lot more and then trade versus like this area right here. But got a pretty big wash, big drop, covered into that first 10-minute move, reshorted back here, and just traded this really well in the morning. Did a little bit more covering down here, but try to keep most of my position. I felt that if it was going to go, maybe 350 was going to be a good target. And it went lower. Couldn't the whole day, the rest of the day, couldn't really stay below lows. So it came down, bounced, added some more back, and then did a little bit of covering. And then this here stopped me out. So I moved my stop after we made, this low down here, lower low. I figured this high was safe to trade versus. So whatever I had remaining, I moved my stop to above the 361 mark, and I got ticked out. So that was kind of frustrating. So I kind of waited for a spot to get back in. So when it went lower, I just waited for a bounce, got a piece, got some more, and then traded versus this level, which was looking like a better spot. And it was from that point on, he just didn't want to go down anymore. Had a couple more trials on the short side, probably overtraded a little bit here in the last hour or so. But I ended up giving back probably, I don't know, 30, 40% of what I was up in Netflix in this sideways chop here. So I could have done a better job at just being done and moving on, especially with this significant higher low here. So, but Netflix nonetheless is really good, and I'm glad to have caught that move. We'll see. It'll be on watch for the next couple of days. Maybe day 2 can get us 350. We'll see. So that's Netflix. What else did I trade today? I tell you what I didn't trade. I didn't trade YECO, YECO. Really crazy mover. This thing has a certain name written all over it, and it's just complete float rotation. I think this is a 1 million share float according to FinViz, and we did 34 million shares. So obviously this is going to be very trappy for day 1. No filings. These guys actually make money according to FinViz. They make like 40 mil a year. So I don't know if they're really strapped for cash. There was some catalyst that I think got people interested with, they closed some deal, but, like a BS headline that shouldn't have caused this type of a move. So I think we were fortunate not to have locates in this today. So I was not looking to trade this on the short side because we couldn't. We had no borrows. But I was also not looking to trade this on the long side only because it felt like this thing had, as a foreign name, I had a lot of manipulation, and I didn't want to get caught up in a T12 halt or something stupid like that, like an elephant type of a halt, and then this thing opens back down, 90%, where it probably goes back to eventually. But for now, it's just holding strong, and I think watching the tape was very revealing. This $10 level was kind of trappy here. It could have gone either way from here. And I think, whatever was accumulated down here at $3, $4, $5, $6, definitely was, some of it at least was sold into this area. And then I think that the buyer re-engaged and, is now looking to move this in after hours from the looks of it. And, it seems very similar to the other ones that we've talked about many times, the AWXs, the GBRs that are trading this way. And we'll see. Hopefully this thing stays up. The higher the better. And then, I don't know, maybe tomorrow or the day after, it will give, I'll be able to locate some shares and, I'll be some opportunities there. But for now, no trade on this one for me. If you did well in this, congrats. Just be careful. This thing can get caught up in an exchange halt. And to me, that's concerning, right? But otherwise, if you did well, congrats. What else did I trade today? I traded I didn't trade any NBEV. I just came in swing. So NBEV, I got in right here yesterday. So if a lot of you guys were asking me how I trade off my phone, I do it off of either VNC, remote over to my desktop, or TeamViewer. I love it. I mean, the last few days I wasn't trading actively, but I was definitely active, where from my phone I was able to remote over to my desktop and put trades on, even at the roulette tables and at the poker tables these last few days. So I like it. I find it useful. And then so yesterday I put it on here at around $7 versus 8. I felt like if this is going to be that lower high, it shouldn't get above 8. And today we got a nice move down on Cannabis Day in Canada. And it was kind of a sell and use type of a day. Not a whole lot of selling. I expected a little bit more selling going into today because it was nothing different that was going to change today with Canada legalizing cannabis today. But there was some selling, and that was good. But NBEV was great. Looking forward to this thing being even better. What else? I'll tell you what wasn't great yesterday. VTV Therapeutics. So this thing was on watch for me for a nice backside. Fundamentally, this thing is garbage. And technically, it started really looking good for the shorts. And I got to say, I had some pretty big size in this. And I had to take it off yesterday. I was playing some roulette, waiting for my to leave for the flight, and I get a text from Stan, VTVT News, and I'm like, oh man, punch in the gut. and turned a huge winner into a huge loser. And some of you are like, Katz, how could it be a huge winner? You know, it barely moved. Well, I was pretty loaded up in size and waiting for, you know, sub $2, closer to $1 in this. So that was going to be a really big trade if it worked, but it didn't. And I had to scale out of it in after hours here. I was lucky to get some liquidity down here and then the rest up here. And then it looks like it's right around where my average was on the covers. But for now, I'm going to leave it alone. They're presenting next week at some conference, and I'm not going to hold anything into that. If there's a trade after, we'll figure it out. But for now, it's no trade for me. All right, let's speed this up a little bit. What else? So NBEV we spoke about, BT, JAGX. I had one trade in JAGX. There was a filing, 13G filing by night something. I think they got a, later I realized that they just bought, they just got a piece of the pipe, and that's why they had, you know, a large stake in the company. It was from the previous pipe that was already known and announced, but they filed it today because they got the position. So I was buying this through 60, trying to see if I can get it long off and get a rip to $1. This was really good on the short side back recently when it had a big gap. Let's see, JAGX. Yeah, I remember this. Back in late September, ripped to like 250, I think it was. Yeah, and then this was really nice on the short side. So I figured maybe this gets to $1, but I bailed on it quick. I didn't have any patience for this. So that one was a small loss, and SLS was a small loss. So SLS, Life Sciences. This one also propped up, was acting strong, but just started looking like it's putting in the top. And I had a tiny feeler on. I was telling James, who sits in front of me, he was in it already. I was telling James, you know, I'll put a feeler on, and my plan was to really size in on a break of these lows here. It's 210 and $2. I was going to hit it hard. And just started researching some more as I went on, and I realized that they're going to be presenting this weekend, and I didn't want to, you know, participate in this any longer. So whatever feeler I had here, I just took it off on this little push up, and then it did get a pretty nice stuff here, but couldn't capitalize on that. But it's okay. It was a small loss, opportunity missed. But I think sticking to my plan was good on this, because I don't want to get tangled up in something like this, where if I can't really work into a bigger position, then I shouldn't be in it in the first place. So it's an avoid. So that one was a small loss. And I think that's it. We spoke about Netflix, AMD. Oh, AMD was good. AMD was good. I was trading this off of this higher low into this $27 figure. And that ended up being a really nice trade. Buy, bought some more, sold into the push, bought it back, and traded around the core for a little bit. And that was it. That was it. So really nice day in AMD, even though it doesn't look like a lot on this chart. You know, it's a decent range. Not as big as it usually likes to provide, but it was pretty good. But I was really selective today, and you know, I got to say, I learned a lot this weekend talking to some of the bigger traders, some of the really good traders out there. And you know, my takeaways, I had a few takeaways I wrote down, and one of the main ones was do less, wait for the niche setups, and again, do less and less and less. And I got to tell you, today I traded a lot less. I'm probably going to be doing less of the, you know, shorter term scalping, and just really waiting for the better and better setups, and just looking to size those more. I have been looking to get bigger in size, and I've been doing that all year, been gradually growing the risk I'm putting on per trade. I'm probably at about 5-6 times where I was in the beginning of the year, risk-wise, that is, and both for day and swing. So I'm just trying to focus on doing less and really waiting for the better setups, and preserving my mental capital to be able to capitalize on those really nice trades that come about, a few times a month. And it's not the only trades I'm looking for, but I'm looking to really size into those. So that was my takeaway, a pretty big one for me in hearing some of those other traders speak. And I recommend it. If you didn't attend and you were on the fence, I got to say I enjoyed it. Our traders, our team that went out there, everybody got something out of it. It was a lot of fun. It was great networking, meeting other traders. And, after all, it was for a great, great cause. And what's better than that? So coming back to New York, slowly getting back in the groove of things. Earnings is back in full swing, and a lot going on, I think, in the next few days and weeks, and really excited for that. So pleasure to meet everyone out there. Thanks for watching, and keep giving us that great feedback that I heard this weekend. Thank you so much. Mike Katz, 7 Points Capital, with today's Trader Takeaways.